What is principle? Imagine a country where a question over the integrity of a sitting president could lead to her resignation.
That's right. Now, in terms of it may be far-fetched in this part of the world, but guess what? In Mauritius, it's a reality, as the nation's first elected female president stepped down just 3 years into her term.
Mashirima Kapombe sat down with Dr. Bibi Ameenah Firdaus Gurib-Fakim, the sixth president of Mauritius, and filed this report.
A warm smile and gentle laughter set the tone for our interview with the former president of Mauritius, a woman thrust into power after years of academia, serving as professor of organic chemistry, dean of the Faculty of Science, and pro-vice-chancellor at the University of Mauritius.
I always describe myself as being the accidental president. And while I was minding my own business, the consortium of three parties decided that we would push my name forward as president. As I had nothing to lose, I said, why not? Because I had the appetite to take risk right across my career. And they went with my name for president, and they won, and I became president.
Between 2015 and 2018, Dr. Bibi Ameenah embraced the challenge, letting her background in science and her identity as a woman shape her approach to leadership.
First of all, I think I broke the mindset that a woman cannot be at the helm. And whether we like it or not, we still live in a male-dominated world. The second thing I wanted to define my presidency was through the lens of science and sustainable development. And I was kind of lucky in a way, because the last quarter of 2015 was very important, because we've had the SDG voted at the UN in September 2015, and then we had the Paris conference. And that was the first really successful COP that the world had seen.
So a lot of successes in your tenure, but also you resigned.
Yes.
Why?
I resigned because, when I was when I was at the presidency, I worked with the Gates Foundation, and I was pushing for precisely the innovation gender agenda. And interestingly, I was given a credit card to use, and who uses a credit card is the most transparent way of spending. And one of these days, I just woke up, looked at the newspaper, and all my bank details were in the press. And there my personal details were all there, and no media reported on the fact that I had refunded everything on the credit card 1 year before my details were leaked. And interestingly, this makes a great platform to seek my removal. So I was removed from office, and I was forced to resign because I had used a credit card which I had refunded 1 year ago.
In this part of the world, people don't resign. Could you talk to us about that part of integrity of our leaders, where if there are questions on their integrity, then you can step back?
I resigned precisely at that level, because there cannot be perception that the Prime Minister and the President, they're not functioning, they're not speaking term. So I left on that basis, and I'm very happy, because at the end of the day, it's the integrity, it's the reputation, and also it's the function of an institution that matter more than personal agendas.
Yeah. A commission of inquiry was launched after her resignation amid accusations of a conflict of interest in her role as a state officer. But despite numerous hearings over the years, the inquiry was never concluded. Even after leaving office, the former president remains active, championing a stronger, more united Africa. The Trump tariffs, it's really made the global trade order come undone. And I've seen a lot of nations have come out with retaliatory tariffs. Can Africa also have a response? Would you expect Africa to have one?
You know, what is happening right now, we are living in the era of uncertainty. And this will have a big impact on investment, because no investors will want to invest in that climate. But I think I go beyond the negatives. I think it's time now for Africa to rethink her strategy, rethink the aid strategy. I know that aid, for example, in Kenya has helped a great deal with PEPFAR and a few initiatives. But as has been said before, aid support has been a tried and tested method But it's time to call for a new method.
How do you think then they can get to that place where they can speak in one voice?
African countries, I think they have all deposited instruments for the Africa Free Trade Agreement, the AfCFTA. Mind you, one of the biggest and most integrated continent is Europe, where they have over 75% integration. But Africa, we are just under 20%, but we are still nascent in terms of the signing of this agreement. But I think it's a very powerful tool to ensure that we trade more with each other and we start recognizing what our neighbors have been developing and learn from each other. And already we find that the BRICS is there, and the BRICS is already 60% of the world global population. The BRICS GDP has exceeded that of G7. And the BRICS is at the cusp of making a big dent in world trade. So it is time now that the current climate is there to really look at partnership. And this will be the salvation for the future.
Yeah. Mauritius has consistently ranked among the most peaceful countries in Africa and one of the continent's most competitive and developed economies. The government offers free universal healthcare, free education all the way to university, and free public transport for students, senior citizens, and people with disabilities. So what lessons can Kenya draw from this small island nation?
We already partner with Kenya. We have banking sector is a partnership. In many other sectors, we do actually partner with Kenya. But we'd like to see more. And one area where we can learn from Kenya is precisely within the energy sector. Kenya is already quite big in the geothermal, for example, and we are increasingly looking at clean energy. So learning from Kenya is very, very important. And also Kenya has a very youthful population, and through this, and Kenya has been a giant in mobile money.
In conclusion, what should former presidents do once they are out of office? Because in this part of the world, it becomes a bit difficult. There are tensions between former leaders and current leaders. How is your situation in Mauritius? Do you play a role in terms of advice, or can you sit down with the current president and have a conversation on how to lead the country forward?
You know, I'm so involved internationally. I'm very involved with Africa. And I have been given really a megaphone after the presidency. So by ricochet, my country is benefiting. So I do that. And my task has been made easier, in as much as I'm a scientist, I'm a woman, and I bring to the table a new narrative. That's what Africans and the world want to see. So that's what I do. So I'm at the service of the continent and globally, and I'm very happy doing that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks so much.